Considering the fact that we finally got a release date for Dying Light 2, I thought now would be the perfect opportunity to take a look back at the original Dying Light game here in 2021 and give my honest thoughts, feelings and opinions on this game, hopefully to inform you if you've never played Dying Light before, and hopefully to answer any questions that you do have about this game, especially with the anticipation of going into Dying Light 2. So with that said, I hope this video meets the goals and the expectations of why you actually clicked on it. Let's roll the intro and let's get into this video on Dying Light here in 2021.
Welcome to Tech Evolved. If you enjoy this content, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Also consider becoming part of the Discord community, link in the description. With that said, let's get back to the video.
So Dying Light was a 2015 open-world survival horror game with story elements. It was developed by Techland, yes, the same developers that did Dead Island, and was published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. The story follows an undercover agent named Kyle Crane, voiced by Roger Craig Smith, who is set with a task to infiltrate a quarantine zone within a Middle Eastern city known as Iran. Airdropped in by the GRE, the game has you perform minor tasks to start off with within the story in order to retrieve some sensitive files that were stolen. It's at this point that you get to know the main players within the story, as well as learn about the main protagonist's motives, and peek slightly more under the veil of the GRE. For me personally, I think the story starts off a little bit slow. It always feels a little bit grueling for me when I come back and play it for the first couple of hours again. However, once you start getting into the thick of the gameplay, this is where the story starts to come alive a little bit more. There's more going on. There's also a nice little plot twist within the middle. I don't want to spoil it too much. However, we start seeing the motives of Crane change. This is because Crane himself is infected early on, and also suffers with the same issues as everyone in the city, meaning that he becomes more compassionate towards them. All in all, there's a decent amount of character development as well as a pretty decent story arc. However, multiple playthroughs do suffer with the storyline. You will find yourself probably skipping quite a lot of the scenes, as there are moments where it does feel a little bit like filler. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because I've actually had multiple playthroughs of this game, and currently sit at about 90 hours on Steam alone. This time around, however, as you can see within the gameplay, I actually played with Snoopy Tom in co-op. During our time playing this again, we played on the hard difficulty as well as nightmare mode. The game's variety in difficulty is actually very accessible. It goes all the way from easy mode, where you pretty much one-shot everything and feel like a god, to the previously mentioned nightmare mode, where zombies are just enraged for no apparent reason. They will hunt you down even in the day. Which brings me on to the day and night cycle within Dying Light and the dynamics that it introduces to the world. By day, the zombies are clumsy, dipsy, and you can pretty much parkour over their head. But by night, they become absolutely terrifying, and pretty much the only way to escape is to flash the UV light on them, as this will slow them down for a short period of time so you can make your escape across rooftops. Because especially in nightmare mode, trying to take them down in the pitch black, even if you've got the flashlight out, you're pretty much mailing yourself in a death box if you try to do that. With the upping of difficulty, the zombies do become more aggressive, they do get more health as well, but an experienced player knows how to move around the world enough in order to not get caught out. The learning curve within this game is to know how to use your parkour abilities to your best advantage, and when you do master this hardcore parkour system, you can pretty much get out of any situation still alive. Surviving the night and also completing side missions as well as main missions will all add skill points to your survival skill tree. There are three major categories when it comes to actually focusing on abilities. This is the previously mentioned survival skill tree, agility and power. Leveling up agility is pretty easy as you parkour your way through the world, but the power skill tree is leveled up by killing hordes of zombies, which also scales for special zombies. There is a prestige system within the skill tree that you will end up getting to if you do have the DLCs. There is a lot of customization within the abilities and a freedom of choice as well to the ones that you actually want. Which brings me on to the combat in this game. One thing that I do really like about Dying Light is that it forces intimate confrontations. It does this by punishing the player for using something like a gun or creating loud noises like explosions, as loud noises in this game will enrage the zombies and they will try and hunt you down and kill you, even in the day, by the way. That's not to say that guns don't have their place in this game. However, it's definitely more efficient to go with the blunt force way of using something like a machete or some form of melee weapon, which there is a massive ton, like I'm not even kidding, of usable up-close weapons in this game. There's also a considerable amount of throwables in this game, like Molotovs, even ninja stars, which is pretty cool. Other things you might want to know is that the game does have a crafting system, a blueprint system. This is for adding extra damage to weapons like elemental abilities such as fire, electricity, and so on. But also, I do need to point out right now that your weapons do degrade over time if you use them. This means there are materials throughout the world in order to repair your weapons, crafting materials in order to do stuff like medkits as well. The game definitely has a lot of stuff in terms of these systems and a lot of stuff to keep you interested. Something that I really do like is just exploring the world, collecting the materials, using the lockpicks, getting to hidden places throughout the world, which I guess now is the perfect time to mention that there is a lot of Easter eggs within this game. A lot of hidden things to explore. The main base game has 2 maps that are playable, and both are actually really big maps. So again, that really does add to the exploration within Dying Light. If you are really interested in this game, I recommend maybe getting the following edition, because then that adds a further map of the following DLC map, which honestly, you want to see the work put into this map, man. It almost feels like another game on top. It adds a good number of boss battles, and also, well, yes, you guessed it, adds some more Easter eggs. Like I mentioned, I played this with Snoopy Tom, and playability wise, the game ran perfectly fine on my system. This game still gets support and actually still gets updates too. And what is funny, the last update that they did, they actually changed the game in order to tease Dying Light 2 and also promote it. This was done by changing graffiti on the wall as well as adding a few other things that I won't mention here not to spoil it. I think we only came across a max of 2 bugs, I would say, when we were playing it. This was zombies floating in the air randomly, and something in the mission not spawning in that we needed. I think it was chocolate. Other than that, the game works fantastic both in single player and co-op, and also all the other side multiplayer game modes. This is definitely one of my favourite open world style like zombie games. I even think it's better than Dead Island. I definitely recommend this game if you've not tried it before. If you're on the hype train and you want to go back to this game, then definitely I would say do it. It's totally worth experiencing this game again and uncovering the secrets again to this absolute amazing game. So with that said, can I say any more? I really do enjoy Dying Light. Now, some people do call this the underrated zombie game of 2015, which is AAA. I would say, considering the fact that it's done so well over the consoles as well as PC, that is not the case. I think maybe a few of us got sick of the whole cliche of zombies, the whole trope of zombies within video games, and that's maybe why this isn't really talked about as much as other games. From what I've seen and the people that I've talked to, whether or not it'll be the Tech Evolve community or forums or seeing the discussions down in the comments of YouTube videos, people definitely enjoy this game and I fit definitely on that same wavelength. If you want to see a live stream of this game, then I know someone in our community that is streaming it, so a shout out to Slim3 Boi. I will leave a link to his channel down below. Hopefully he is still streaming the game by the time that you actually go and have a look at it. Anyway, I hope today's video was very informative. I hope you enjoyed today's video as well, because I do put a lot of work into these guys. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe to my channel. I do aim to do a review style video every week, and if that is the kind of content that you do enjoy, please jump on board, help us get to 10k subscribers, because that is the new goal. Thank you for supporting this channel, thank you for watching this video, especially if you got this far into it. With that said, stick to the UV light, stick to the rooftops, and everything should be fine, and I'll see you in the next video.